Welcome everyone. In today's video, we will demonstrate how to assist a student with checking and submitting their financial aid forms. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is have a student log into their MyMC account. In today's video, we will be using a current student's MyMC account. For the sake of that student's security, we won't show you how to log in, so we don't show you her personal login information, but if you need assistance with logging in, please have an Access team member assist you with this step. Once you've had a student log in, you will come to the home screen, which we have shown here in front of you. The first thing you want to do is go to the Financial Aid tab and click on the Financial Aid tab. Once you've done that, you want to scroll down to take a look at the Financial Aid Requirements section, which is here. First thing you want to do when you get to this Financial Aid Requirements section is to make sure you're choosing the correct aid year. In this particular time, we want to do the 18-19 academic year. As you can see it here, we make sure that we have the correct academic year. Once you take a look at this, what you want to be focused on is this particular section here that says status. As you can see, this particular student has submitted some of their financial aid forms, which is why you see the green check mark here. The forms that have not been completed will be here in gray, which is what you want to be taking a look at today. Each section that does not have a green check mark will have a hyperlink for the student to click on. It's important to note here in this section that some of these are action steps that the student will need to take outside of their MyMC account, and some of these are actual forms that the student will need to click on, print off, sign, and return to the financial aid office. So it's important to make sure to know the difference, as well as have the student print out all forms that are in this particular section. The next step is to have the student complete these forms. Make sure when you're working with a student that you have the student complete all the forms completely to make sure that they're done correctly, and have them sign the forms before returning them to the financial aid office. Now there's two steps in order to turn in the financial aid forms for a student. The first step, and the step that we recommend, is to have the student complete all forms and actually physically walk them to the financial aid office and turn them into the financial aid office themselves. The reason why this step is important is because it allows a student to get verification that their financial aid forms have been done correctly and that the financial aid office has actually received the financial aid forms. During this time, you want to make sure you tell a student to turn the original forms in to the financial aid office and have the financial aid office then give them a copy of the forms that they have completed to give verification that the forms have been done, submitted, and submitted correctly. Another way that a student can submit all these financial aid forms is to actually email them to the financial aid office. That email for the financial aid office is financialaid@montgomerycollege.edu. Now, we don't necessarily recommend this step for students. We prefer the students actually walk the financial aid paperwork to the financial aid office, but if a student does choose to email the forms to the financial aid office, we encourage and recommend that students use their MyMC email in order to make sure that the documentation is coming from their Montgomery email account. Now, 3 reasons why we don't recommend students email the forms in is, number one, there's a possibility that they will not get their confirmation email. Emails at times can get lost in the system, and students will have no verification that they actually turned in the forms with their confirmation email. Number 2, unlike walking the paperwork over to the financial aid office, there is no return copy of verified forms that they have turned in. They will simply have to wait to hear back from Montgomery College that the forms have been submitted. Number 3, if they have submitted an incorrect form when they walk the forms in, somebody at the financial aid office will have them corrected then and return those documents to them to have the student fill it out and then return it to the financial aid office. If it is emailed, there is no way to verify that they actually turned in a form incorrectly, and there could be a delay in their financial aid, as well as finding out if their financial aid has been submitted correctly. Next, it's important to tell the student that their financial aid will not be dispersed until all of these sections have been completed, which means all documentation has been completed correctly, turned in, and verified by the financial aid office. So again, just make sure you let a student know that their financial aid will not be dispersed until all their paperwork has been completed and verified by the Montgomery College Financial Aid Office. Lastly, March 1st is the financial aid priority deadline, which we recommend all students complete and submit all financial aid forms prior to and or by March 1st in order to verify that their financial aid will be submitted and completed correctly and dispersed to their accounts in the proper form. If for any reason a student has missed the March 1st deadline for turning in their financial aid forms and they are eligible for financial aid, it is still highly recommended that students complete and submit all of their financial aid forms. Submitting their forms after March 1st could potentially cause a delay in their financial aid and or could risk them not getting the maximum amount of aid that they are eligible for. However, again, we still highly recommend, even if students miss the March 1st deadline, to complete and submit all financial aid forms in order to make sure that they're getting their financial aid for that particular year. If you have any further questions while watching this video and assisting a student, please seek out your Access staff for assistance. Thank you and have a great day.